In this example video, I'm going to show you how to combine polynomials by adding or subtracting, and a separate example for multiplying. So we'll start with adding or subtracting polynomials, and in this first example we're going to add two polynomials, which you can see right here with this plus sign. So I have a polynomial right here and a polynomial right here, and I'm going to add them together. So what happens when you're adding two polynomials together is, in this one case, what you can do is drop all the parentheses. So I'm going to do that here in the first step. Again, you can only do this when you're adding two polynomials. So what I'm going to do now is group up like terms. I'm going to reorder the addition so that like terms are next to each other. So remember that like terms have to have the exact same variable part. So I see I have a y term here, a y term here. I have a z squared x and an xz squared. Even though they're written in a different order, it's still x to the first, z to the second, so those are like terms. And I have a single x cubed y, a single z squared, and a single number. So these three do not have like terms. So 2x cubed y plus z squared plus 4. Those don't have like terms. They're going to stay just as they are. I'm going to put the two y terms next to each other and the two z squared x's next to each other. And I'm going to reorder these for my convenience. So instead of z squared x, I wrote xz squared. Okay, so these two are like terms, these two are like terms. So I'm going to actually combine them together. So a negative 3 plus 3 times y. So I'm going to combine them here, right? You keep the variable part the same and you combine the coefficients by adding them, right? A negative 3 plus 3. So same thing here. I'm going to combine the coefficients and keep the variable part the same. So I have a coefficient of 1 minus 3. Okay, so again, these terms that have nothing to combine with just keep getting carried down. So negative 3 plus 3, that's 0. Which means we have 0 y's, so we no longer have a y term. 1 minus 3 is negative 2, so minus 2 xz squared. And that's my final answer. So in this second example, I'm going to subtract, and you can tell right here because of the subtraction symbol. So what's different about this is that I actually need to distribute this negative sign in to every term in the second polynomial because I need to subtract everything here. So I'm going to distribute that in. So I'll have minus 4. And minus a negative is plus b cubed c. Okay, now I'll do the same thing I did in the previous example. I'm going to identify like terms, reorder my addition so that they're next to each other and I can combine them easily. So I have a b cubed c and a b cubed c, and those are the only two like terms. So 4ab cubed minus 4. I have minus 1 b cubed c plus 1 b cubed c. Cancel, gone. Plus 1 minus 1, gone. This is my final answer. So I can also combine polynomials by multiplying. As you see here, we've got a polynomial times another polynomial. So you know that this is multiplication because there is no symbol written in between these two. This is pretty standard notation in math, is that if you have a quantity in parentheses next to another quantity in parentheses, they're being multiplied. So what we're going to do is use the distributive property. So the way that we can multiply two polynomials by each other is that we must multiply each of the terms by each other. So what I like to do is start in the first polynomial. First term of the first polynomial, I'm going to take this term and I'm going to distribute it to every term in the second polynomial. And I will distribute it using multiplication. Then I'll come back and I'll grab this second term and I will distribute that as well. Okay, so this is going to become 2x squared y times 4 plus 2x squared y times 3z plus 2x squared y times negative 3xy. And now the second term, distribute. So minus, because this is a minus, z cubed times 4 minus z cubed times 3z minus z cubed times negative 3xy. There we go. Okay, now I'm actually going to multiply and then combine like terms, and that'll wrap up this problem. So 2 times 4 is 8, x squared y. 2 times 3 is 6, x squared y z. A positive times a negative is negative. 2 times 3 is 6. X squared times x, y times y. Negative 4z cubed, negative 3z to the 4th, z cubed times z. Negative times a negative is positive. 3xy z cubed. Okay, so again, I need to find like terms. So, do we have any like terms? We have an x squared y, but this also has a z, so those are not like terms. Z cubed, z to the 4th. We do not have any like terms. These are all different, which means I have nothing left to do. So this is my final answer. So I'll do the same thing here with this example. Okay, I have a binomial times a binomial. So I've got two terms here to distribute over these two terms here. So I'm going to take 3ab, distribute it here, and then the negative a squared, and distribute it here. Okay, so 3ab times ab plus 3ab times a squared minus, because this is minus a squared times ab minus a squared times a squared. Okay, and then I actually need to multiply, so I get 3a squared b squared right here plus 3a cubed b minus a cubed b minus a to the 4th. Now I need to see if I have any like terms, and it looks like I do. I've got a cubed b and a cubed b, so I need to combine those like terms together. So 3a squared b squared, I've got positive 3 minus 1, so that's 2, a cubed b, minus a to the 4th.